Hello, everyone. This is Catherine here from the AHA product marketing team. So, this is all about how to manage feedback smarter with AI. So, now I am thrilled to introduce our wonderful presenters for today. We have Kelly Siebes, who's hopefully a familiar face if you've attended our idea management focused tutorials in the past. Kelly is our principal product manager for AHA Ideas, so we love to bring her in to share her expertise in idea management and discovery. And then we also have Jeanette Resnikoff, who is a senior product concierge manager, which means she is a top expert who supports our very large, complex organizations. So she'll be walking us through a great demo today, full of insights and tips on how to manage feedback more effectively. So thank you again for joining us live. Now that our logistics and intros are out of the way, I will hand it over to Kelly.
Hey, thanks, Catherine. I am thrilled to be here today to talk to you all about how to manage customer feedback more efficiently. Yeah, and effectively too, not just efficiently, right? So today, we all agree that feedback is vital for building great products. It's the fuel you need for your roadmap. But let's face it, collecting and organizing that feedback can quickly become overwhelming or even paralyzing, especially when it's unorganized. And that's a common pain point that I hear from product teams that I talk to before they have an ideas portal. They tell me how quickly they get overwhelmed by feedback that's coming at them from so many different channels, from email, Slack, hallway conversations, meetings, CRM applications. It's just coming at them from everywhere. And it's really easy for those ideas to get lost. And it's really difficult to close the feedback loop and actually act on those ideas and let people know that they're not falling into a black hole. And that's why AHA created ideas portals to help funnel all of that feedback into one organized place. So on that note, I want to take a quick poll and see how many of you all are using ideas portals in AHA today, and who are you gathering that feedback from in the portals as well? I know some of you have portals, just internally focused, and people are submitting ideas on behalf of customers, and some of you getting feedback directly from customers as well. Let's see those poll results coming in. This is always such a fun part of webinars. Get some of this fun data from you all. Okay, so thank you so much for taking this poll. And it looks like quickly, yeah, most of you are getting feedback both from customers and internally, which is awesome. And yeah, it looks like almost everybody's getting feedback, at least internally. That's really great. It's a great place to start. And for those of you who aren't yet getting feedback from your customers, we have a great tutorial we ran last year to help you have some guidance on how to launch a portal effectively for your customers. So we'll post that in the chat as well. So if you do have a portal, like a lot of you do, you may have run into what we call sometimes a success disaster, or having so many great engaged customers like I do. They're all submitting great ideas and you have a ton of feedback to manage and review then. And that can get really overwhelming fast. But it doesn't have to be with AHA Ideas. We have a lot of powerful tools to help make this process more efficient, including an AI assistant to help you work smarter. So another quick poll for you. I'm curious, how many of you have tried out any of the AI assistant features in AHA yet? Okay, so far it looks like it's split about half and half. Let's see, it's going to end up about a third of you have and about 2/3 of you have not yet. That's great to know. We'll be covering a lot of that today. And we do have a lot of AI features that you can try out in AHA. We'll be covering those like AI exploration, merge suggestions, AI writing assistant, etc. So we're excited to cover some of those today. But first, I want to do a quick note that Ideas portals are available in AHA in Ideas Essentials. And most of you have Ideas Essentials today already as part of your AHA Roadmaps plan, or you can have Essentials as a standalone product as well. And there's a lot of great functionality in that Ideas Essentials plan to help you manage customer feedback. Today, we're going to be going over a lot of AI features, and those are available in our Ideas Advanced plan, which is an add-on to AHA Roadmaps or an add-on to Ideas Standalone as well. So if you're interested in a trial or demo of Ideas Advanced, let us know in the Q&A and we'll connect with you after this session. So Jeanette, let's take a quick look at what's on our agenda for today.
So here's a quick run through what we will cover today. First, we will see how we can clean up our Ideas portal by detecting duplicates and swiftly merging them together. Then we'll take a look at the bigger picture and analyze all of the ideas in our portal. And lastly, we will run an analysis on a group of ideas for more in-depth feature research. Now, during the demo portion of today's session, we will be focused on how our AI assistant can help you become more efficient with idea management. But the input we received through registration, and many of you were looking for additional ways to effectively manage a large volume of feedback. So not to worry, stay put because we will touch on some of those topics in the Q&A at the end. And now, Kelly, over to you to share about this first section.
Awesome. Thank you, Jeanette. As I'm sure everyone on this call can relate, I love connecting with my customers and hearing about their challenges firsthand. I've probably talked with many of you that are on the webinar today firsthand as well. And as I met with a bunch of my customers over this past year, one pain point kept coming up over and over again. People getting duplicate ideas in their portals. And that can present some challenges because customer input then becomes fragmented. The related feedback is then spread across multiple ideas, which can make it really difficult for you to see the full scope of what a customer is asking for and how many people want that particular feature as well. So the best way to handle that is to merge duplicate ideas together. But previously, you had to do that one by one, manually searching through ideas to find those duplicates. But I knew that we could do something to make this more efficient for us busy product managers, and AI was a perfect fit for solving this kind of problem. So we're going to turn our focus to the ideas overview and see how this works. Back over to you, Jeanette.
Thanks, Kelly. So throughout this tutorial, we will be acting as product managers for a fictitious app called Fredwin Cycling. And before we dive into duplicates, I do want to take a quick walkthrough of the ideas overview page here. So ideas overview, because no matter if you are a beginner or an advanced user, it's just a great place to start when you are evaluating your customer feedback. So we're looking at several pre-built views to first get a sense of the distribution over here of your ideas by status. And you can inspect this to make sure that you don't have too many ideas and say needs review, or celebrate how many you even have in shipped. Then right next to it over here on the right, you'll have some handy links to any of the ideas portals that you have set up for this particular workspace. Now, in this case, we have a customer-facing portal and a private ideas portal set up with our Salesforce integration. And you can adjust your portal settings right here, or even add a new portal. When we come down, we'll come back to the activity section over here. But I want to mention below, you will find a feed of portal comments. Now, this is going to be a helpful place for you to make sure that you're aware of and following along with those most recent portal comments. It's where you can stay up to date on that information. So let's come back up and take a closer look at activity. This is where a lot of people focus their time while on this page, and it's also where we will start to do some of that duplicate cleanup. So each tab here is pretty straightforward, but it provides you with a different list of ideas for different purposes. The new tab is, of course, great for working through ideas that are new and needs review. So you can come in here and quickly see I've got a new idea added, take it open, review that idea, and then change the status accordingly in that drawer. My popular tab here, it's a great place to go when you are doing a roadmap planning review. So these are the ideas that have the most votes. So taking into consideration, again, the popularity. And then next, we'll see we've got the similar tab. This is where we see a list of ideas with their number of potential duplicates. We're here sorted by highest to lowest. And when I click on the potential duplicate value, you will get a list report of each of those ideas that our AI assistant has found to be very similar to one another. Now, remember this list, it's just an AI-powered recommendation. So you will want to review the details of each of these ideas to determine whether they really are indeed duplicates. So in this case, let's imagine they are duplicates. And so what would we do next? Well, next, we want to bulk edit, the check mark over here, bulk edit, and merge them together. And this has several benefits. When we merge the ideas together, we choose the one idea to become the primary idea that will still be visible in your portal. Now, all of the votes will be combined so that you can assess the true popularity of that idea. Any subscribers of the merged ideas will then become subscribers to that primary idea, and they will still receive updates as the idea moves along in your product development lifecycle. So essentially, everyone's staying informed while you gain the benefit of a clearer picture of what customers are asking for. So this is, again, a great way to do bulk cleanup and tackle that duplicate backlog. But you can also spot potential duplicates on an individual basis as well. So let's take a look at an idea that needs some review back over here in our new tab. We're going to look at cycling challenges. And as I quickly look at this, I can see right away up the top that I've got an alert that tells me that a similar idea has been identified. So if I come over to the related tab, I can take a look at those potential duplicates as well as other similar ideas. And when I launch to see this and take a deeper analysis, it will open up a report just like the one we were looking at before. And again, I can review these ideas to decide whether to merge them together or not. Now, say you've taken a look and you've determined that it's not really a duplicate. Perfectly fine. That's great. You can simply dismiss the alert right here at the top. It needs a little X. So overall, this assistance from AI can help you really streamline the way that you're reviewing those incoming ideas and then help you keep your portal nice and tidy. And importantly, help your portal users find and vote on those relevant ideas. And so now that we've cleaned up our portal, what is next, Kelly?
Hey, thanks, Jeanette. It really does feel so good to tackle those duplicates. I use this a lot myself when reviewing new ideas as they come in, and it is definitely oddly satisfying, I call it. But once you clean up all those ideas, you're still left with a lot of great feedback and ideas for you to consider for your roadmap. And that feedback is a goldmine of insights. But when you have so many ideas, a really high volume of them, it can be overwhelming to try to analyze it. Traditionally, uncovering patterns and themes in your feedback meant, you would need to manually go through and read every idea, try to identify common connections just in your own mind, and group those related ideas together in the system. That's very, very valuable, but incredibly time intensive. And we've encountered that ourselves at AHA. So that, brought up another clear challenge for us. How do we help people scale that process of finding those insights across their ideas? How do you uncover those key themes that customers care about the most without getting bogged down in all that time? So that's, again, a great place for AI to solve a problem. It can do the heavy lifting for you. It can analyze all that data and detect patterns across that vast number of ideas to help identify emerging trends and themes quickly. That initial analysis from AI can really help simplify your process. And then you can spend your time focusing on those insights and figuring out how to use those to shape your strategy and your roadmap. So I'm going to hand it over to Jeanette to walk us through how this process works in AHA Ideas Advanced.
Yeah, so we were just looking at our ideas overview page where we have a ton of feedback. Now, imagine we are at the point in our roadmap planning where we want to take a step back and determine what are some of the higher level themes and those trends that are coming out of all of this feedback, because this is really going to inform the direction of our roadmap. So as Kelly mentioned, this can be difficult to do by clicking through each one of these ideas. So thankfully, we have our AI assistant to help. We're going to head over to the ideas exploration, and we're going to create a new chart here. right now I want to narrow in on ideas specifically for my cycling products. And I want to look across all categories and all statuses. And as I start this exploration, our AI assistant is going to comb through the names, the descriptions of all of those ideas and start to intelligently group them together. Now, of course, in that previous step, I could do a finer grain analysis and add in a filter for a particular category or look at ideas based on status, like just the ones that are in future consideration or needs review. And when this is complete, we'll see our ideas visualized in a compelling way, where each dot represents a particular idea. And each of these large groups represents a common topic or theme where we can start to see some of the overlap. And it gives us a nice jumping off point to dive into those areas that are generating the most feedback. Now, if I take a look at the top group identified over here with the most ideas, this is a big area of interest. So of course, we want to get a good understanding of what our customers are asking for in this topic. We can hover over each of these dots and quickly see some insights into each of those ideas. And also, of course, click into the individual idea itself. But having so many ideas within this theme might be an indication that it could be a core component of our roadmap. And with this, I can maybe consider making it a strategic initiative or do something where I want to maybe tag all of these for future analysis and visualizations. So I can, of course, do that individually by opening up those ideas, or I can open up this entire group in a list report. And similarly to what we did before in our previous step, make some bulk edits and apply maybe a tag where we identify all of those related to social or specifically our activity tracking. This is related to tracking. And as it applies, so say we are working through this, I'm back in my exploration. Maybe I want to see all ideas related to activity tracking, maybe some that aren't in this particular area. I can search here. So we're going to search by activity tracking as that important topic. And now I can see all of the ideas that are matching that search highlighted. And I can start to understand what are the specific features the customers are asking for related to that topic that I'm searching for. And right here, I can open up any individual idea and decide whether I want to, say, maybe promote it to a feature on our roadmap. So we're going to go and promote this idea. And once it's been promoted, I can link that feature to that key initiative that's going to help us drive. So here we've got a key initiative for activity tracking. So I'm going to link it right here, right now. So no matter where you are in your planning cycle, if you have ideas advanced, you can give this exploration a try and you might gain some new insights into all those ideas visualized in this way. And Kelly, so speaking of insights, we're going to take it back to you to talk about the next section.
Thank you, Jeanette. You know, every time I use this tool, it just kind of feels like magic being able to press a button and then getting this visualization of all of my feedback and being able to get a really different perspective on it and those different themes across all the ideas that our customers have submitted. And so thank you, Jeanette, for going through, how we can do that in the AI exploration tool. And this is really valuable, in the early stages of your discovery and planning process to get that general sense of what your customers are asking for. Now we're going to jump a little bit further along into your product development journey and move from AHA ideas to AHA roadmaps, where you're going to find yourselves at a point where you have promoted and prioritized those ideas to features on your roadmap. But, the next thing you need to do is define exactly how are those features going to work. And at that stage, it's really important for you to understand what your customers have been asking for related to that feature and who those customers are too. How much revenue and opportunity value do they represent? Now, traditionally, that meant for you and for me, we would need to go through each related idea to review all the votes, all the comments, all the proxy votes, and all the details about the customers and the organizations that are tied to those ideas. So you're probably noticing a pattern. AI can help with this too. So I'm going to turn it back over to Jeanette to show us the AI tool that we have to help with this kind of analysis.
Yeah, so now we're going to jump over to our features board and open up one of the features on our roadmap. And we're going to take a look at redesigning the top level navigation. In addition to a focus on activity tracking as a big topic that we discussed before, we also want to make sure that we're redesigning the app to make it the best possible experience for our customers. So to do this, we want to make sure we're taking into consideration all customer feedback. So we're going to head over to the research tab here. In general, this is going to be a great place to consolidate all of your research for your initiatives, your epics, your features, and putting all of that into notes and whiteboards in this concept section, as well as polls and more. So note that as we look at the concept section here, we have an early wireframe that's using an advanced wireframing tool in Whiteboards, and we also have a customer interview note. The AI assistant can help you in both of those. In a whiteboard, you can ask AI to arrange your content by different themes. You can ask it to summarize the whiteboard or even have it generate that early wireframe for you, which is what we did right here. It helps you get started so you aren't always starting just from a completely blank screen. Now, in our notes, we also have our AI writing assistant that can not only help us create release notes or other information related to this feature, but we can also use it to summarize the interview notes. So here we had a transcript found below, and the AI summary was created up at the top. Now, what I want to focus on in this section is our linked ideas here. This is where we're going to see all of the ideas that have been merged together and promoted to this feature. Now, ordinarily, it would take a product team maybe quite a bit of time to go through each one of these. But if you have roadmaps with ideas advanced, we can use Analyze with AI. And this will automatically generate a note right here in our concepts full of useful insights. So at the top, the summary is going to see we've got an aggregate of the total votes. We can start to understand what is the total opportunity value here, as well as the key position that this feature represents in our different important categories. And then further down, we can start to see information about the organizations behind the ideas, what that revenue represents for your business. And as I come down even further, we can see top use cases based on the comments in the ideas and the proxy votes for each of those linked ideas, as well as pull out key quotes. So you can dive into really specific details. And this note is automatically added and saved right there in that concept section of the research tab, so that it's conveniently accessed in the context of that particular feature. So overall, these insights just help you think about defining the feature, detailing out the requirements that need to be done, and of course, much more. And importantly, it's all backed by your customers' direct feedback. So, all right, guys, we covered quite a bit in a short amount of time here. So let's recap. First, we reviewed our AI-powered merge suggestions on our overview. So we could combine those duplicates, clean up our ideas portal. Then we ran an AI exploration on all of the ideas for Fredwin cycling, and we were able to identify those key topics and search by topic. And then lastly, we took a look at a particular feature with many related ideas, and we ran an analysis to gain more valuable insights that we could use to quickly identify what customers need and how much value it would bring to those customers. So with that all said, we now have some time to cover Q&A.
Awesome. Thank you, Jeanette and Kelly. That was such a great run through of how to confidently manage those large volumes of feedback, of course, with assistance from our lovely AI. So we had some great questions come through in Q&A as well as some submitted during our registration process. So how about let's start with Kelly, do you have advice on how to stay on top of incoming ideas and respond to them in a timely manner?
Yeah, definitely. And again, this is something I hear come up from a lot of customers, and a lot of the customers I've spoken to have implemented really good processes to help them stay on top of this. And it's something that we do too, and internally at AHA. So, first of all, you just stay on top of it, right? Like, review the new ideas that are coming in on a regular cadence, once a week or twice a week. And I find that then it doesn't really get overwhelming. It's easy just to review the few ideas that have come in since last time you checked. And also reports. So, you can create reports to help you review the ideas that are assigned to you, that are part of the product area that you're in charge of, for example, to help you stay focused and stay on top of those ideas. You can also assign what we call like an SLA or service level agreement, talking about like how quickly do you want your team to be responding to ideas. So it might be 2 days on average or a week on average. And we have new columns in our reports where you can quickly see how long an idea has been in a certain status and help flag the ones that are over that time limit to help you be more responsive to your customers. And of course, last but not least, automation rules. And so there's a lot of different things you can do with automation rules today. And you can set up rules, for example, if an idea has been in the needs review status, like this one, for over 5 days and create a to-do and assign it to Jeanette in this example. And, tell her, take a look at this, it's over your limit. So just these things to help nudge people and help them remember and stay on top of their processes, because, we are all very, very busy. So as much as we can make this autopilot, the better.
Definitely, yeah. And in a related vein, is there a best way to really detect like bottlenecks in your idea management process, especially when it comes to upholding those SLAs?
Yeah, so like Kelly was saying, using your reports are really going to help you start to identify that. And especially that time and status report can help you start to figure out where those bottlenecks might exist. So if we look at this example dashboard, we've got a target SLA that we want to review our ideas in under 5 business days. And we've got a nice graph here that shows us the ideas by status and categories. So if we have particular teams that focus on certain categories, we can start to see where maybe some of those bottlenecks exist, as well as a report on that time and status, and start to see, is it assigned to somebody in particular, what's oldest, what needs some attention first. So you can start to triage some of those ideas that are coming through.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. We got a lot of feedback about spotting trends. So I'm curious how we can identify and analyze trends in customer ideas. One question in particular came through Q&A about looking at it from a month to month basis even.
Again, we're going to point to using your reports and using those data visualizations to help you do that. So, of course, AI exploration. So we were looking at that. That's going to give you those big topics and themes and trends. But taking a look at your reports in general, and again, you guys are going to have example reports here, and you can evaluate by idea type and start to take a look at maybe average time and status by month. We can quickly build out some reports to see trending ideas by category. These are all here ready to go for you too.
All right, we have time for a few more. So there were some questions that came through about organizations. So maybe Kelly, you could talk about the benefit of organizations in general. Some of the questions were about what happens to them when you have merged ideas. How can you track kind of that total value that an organization brings as well?
Yeah, good question. So it's so important to know that context of who the customers are that are asking for these ideas. It really tells you a lot and also helps you prioritize the ideas that you work on. So we surface organizations, what you might call customers or accounts, in AHA in a few different places. So, hey, thank you for pulling this up. So here's an example of the AeroCycle organization for our fictional Fredwin Cycling Company. So I can see here quickly, what the top ideas are that they have voted on, asked for, what they asked for recently. And then the bottom section is really fun when it's filled out too. It shows you ideas that you recently shipped for them too, which is always fun before you get on a call for them. It's like, hey, we just shipped these ideas that you voted on. So you can see it all together here in one place. And then depending on how you're getting the organization data into AHA, you might be syncing it from Salesforce, for example, or uploading it from a CSV. You can match the organization name to email domains in your ideas portal and will automatically connect those people with those email domains to that organization. And then all their ideas are rolled up to that organization level as well. So you can really see it all together in one place. Then if you're syncing it from Salesforce, you can also map other data fields over. So if you want to map over the total revenue that they're paying your organization, for example, their total number of seats, maybe their current status, are they active or churned, who their account manager is, any kind of data that the product manager would find really useful to have at their fingertips right in AHA with the feedback, you can sync that over from Salesforce and you can report on it, segment on it, do all kinds of things with it as well. So that merging question you mentioned specifically, yeah, so if you have two ideas from two different organizations and you merge one into the other, then all of the people that voted on that merged idea, they get copied over to the other idea as well, so that you'll see on that parent idea that you have remaining, that you'll see all those people that, organizations that came over from the merged idea as well. Sorry, did that cover all the organizations questions?
Yes, thank you,
Okay.
Kelly.
Yeah.
All right. So I think last question for today, shifting back our focus to features, and we're looking at that research tab. Could you explain kind of how do you get ideas to be linked to your feature? I know there's a few different ways to get ideas connected there.
Yeah, so if we open up that research tab again, so we can see here I've got the ideas section. I can link directly from this page, or when you are evaluating any individual idea or maybe multiple ideas, if we were to look at an individual idea and think about the ones that we promoted, that promotion process will get that idea linked up into that research tab for you automatically. So in this case here, when we did the promote, and that's the little promote button on an individual idea, you pick what you want to promote to, it will create that link for you right here. So when I open up that feature and look at the research tab, you'll see this is the source it came from. And again, coming back, we can see on the idea itself what it was promoted to. So those are going to be the primary ways you can do this. But if you have, again, multiple ideas, so like we looked at bulk editing a couple times, you can also do this in bulk too.
Yes, thank you. Very seamless, promoting ideas to features and whatnot. So thank you guys. We hope that you are not overwhelmed and are instead leaving today inspired to really efficiently manage your feedback with help from AI. So thank you, everyone. See you next time.